and then the plant feeds me. And the same thing for you folks.
I mean, by the way, Patrick, that fig that I just ate,
Yeah.
that's the sweetest fig I've ever tasted.
That's delicious.
That's incredible.
I tell you what, one of the things that I do, I add Epsom salts to the soil. Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate. If you look at green plants, what you have here is green chlorophyll, and chlorophyll takes the energy of the sun combined with water and carbon dioxide, it makes sugar. And then from that it makes proteins and all these exotic phytochemicals that protect us from disease. Well, the beauty of this whole business of that the middle of that chlorophyll molecule is magnesium. If the plant doesn't get enough magnesium, it doesn't make enough chlorophyll. Doesn't get enough chlorophyll, it won't make enough sugar. It's not going to get sweet enough. And all the other chemicals that it makes. So I put like a handful of Epsom salts in a gallon of water and dissolve it at the base of the tree about 3 times a year. Delicious fruit.
That's a great tip for people. They're growing their own food.
Do you see any bugs? Anything on that?
No.
This is all biodynamic, organic, and I'm not fighting any bugs. Essentially, the plant has its own immune system, just like you and I do, just like you people do. These are Suriname cherries.
Okay.
And fascinating. Suriname cherry. I get 3 harvests a year out of this.
And by the way, you guys are missing out. You have to be behind the camera. I'm getting to eat these. This is incredible.
Well, the hard part is to eat and talk at the same time. I find I salivate so much and I can't talk well, which is...
I'll let you do most talking. I'll do most eating.
Perfect.
We'll be happy here.
Well, think about this. What you have is these beautiful dark cherries, and they're sweet, aren't they? They're delicious. And what nature is saying is, all right, what I got is some sugar here, and the fungus living around us in the trillions wants to eat this. And so the plant has to create its own protection. It creates a substance called phytoalexins, and that is, one of those is resveratrol. People have heard about it in red grapes. Grapes are another thing. So the sweet thing in the grape has to protect itself. So if a fungus lands on this, and it eats that phytoalexin, it dies. It's sort of its own, it's a pre-drug, essentially. The drug companies can't duplicate this stuff. And that's the beauty of what we've got here, is that you cannot patent a natural substance, and that's why the $280 billion a year drug industry can't come up with something as effective as this. Phytoalexins in red and green fruits and vegetables have been shown to be anti-cancer, the same way that they protect the plant against fungus. Mulberries. These are Oscar mulberries.
Now, this one wasn't ripe last year.
You're right. Came at a different time of the year. So dark purple is going to have this rich mixture of phytochemicals, bioflavonoids, carotenoids. The medicinal value is beyond argument.
Oh, my goodness.
And
that's ridiculously sweet.
Delicious. And this is what I'm saying. We're not denying ourselves, people. People think, if I can't have my Twinkies and Coke every day, no, this stuff is delicious. And once you develop an appetite for it, it's fascinating. The human tongue has got 4 sensors: sour, sweet, salt, and bitter. That sweet is for fruit. The earliest food of humans was fruit, eggs, and insects. I'm not telling you have to eat insects, but eggs and fruit are good. And the sweetness is to make fruit taste good and feel good in our body. And then what the food manufacturers have done is said, we're going to create all of these substitute sugars, which are not good for you. And now we're eating 140 pounds per year of refined white sugar, which is killing us. Obesity, diabetes, depression, heart disease, cancer, among other diseases that come with refined sugar. This is a different sugar. What you find is, if you take the fructose and other natural sugars that are in the matrix, matrix means mother in Latin, and literally here's this sugar sitting in the middle of this cell membrane, and it's got all these phytochemicals around it and fiber, and it works. And if you take a different sugar and take all the matrix away, which is white sugar, corn syrup, now it's killing people instead of healing people.
There are so many good, non-toxic ways to treat cancer that it's laughable what standard medicine is doing. But they all work in different ways. For instance, the salvestrol works on an enzyme system. CYP1B1 is the enzyme system that it works on. Well, this is a natural product found in fruits and vegetables that CYP1B1 enzyme converts into a toxic product. So this fruit extract, vegetable extract, acts as a prodrug. It's not a drug. Your normal cells don't have that enzyme system, so it can't convert it. So it doesn't hurt normal cells. But the cancer cells have the CYP1B1, so it converts it into a toxic substance, killing the cancer cells. So that's just an instance of how a particular natural therapy might work. It was found because, and why don't we have salvestrol today in our body? Well, natural fruits and vegetables produce it just in the last day or two, right as they become ripe, because that's when they're higher in sugars, and that's when fungi tend to attack the fruits and vegetables. So that's when they make salvestrol. Who eats vine-ripened fruit today?
Unless you have your own garden, you don't.
That's it. Nobody, because it's all picked green.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're eating it in a natural food store or an organic food store. It's still picked green to ship to you. Because that's the only way they can get it there and not lose half their produce to spoilage. So we are eating all this food that's salvestrol depleted, one of the very agents that Mother Nature uses to kill cancer cells, which Mom and Pa got back on the farm. But in the city, buying it from the store, we don't get.
Things like